Now, a particularly severe dry harmattan has put pressure on Ghana's cocoa season and raised uncertainty about prospects for the media crop even after the rain season set in. Many farmers in the country are concerned over the output of the commodity.
58-year-old farmer Mohammed Karim has 10 acres of cocoa trees that he is not sure will yield the kind of harvest he expects at this time of the year. The farm, which Karim inherited from his father 18 years ago, is located over 150 kilometers southwest of the capital, Accra. Here, as in the other cocoa-growing regions of Ghana, the harmattan cold, dry winds blowing across West Africa from the Sahara over winter is sapping soil moisture and spoiling seeds. While weather conditions have improved compared with last year, farmers said rains, which started in March and are vital to the development of the light crop, have been insufficient and patchy. Ghana's 2014 and 2015 outputs came in at 730,000 tons of beans, well below an initial forecast of more than 1 million tons due to poor weather and what farmers said were inadequate supplies of fertilizers and pesticides. Industry regulator Cocoa Board's 2015 and 2016 production target, set at the start of the season in October, is in line with Ghana's average annual output of 850,000 tons, the bulk of which is harvested during the main crop that runs from October to May.
We had targeted that we'll be able to produce 850,000 metric tons. We're hoping that the way it performed, we would be able to achieve that. But because the rains have just set in, we are yet to see the light crop and how it will also behave. And then we can then assess the severity or the effect of the long stretch of harmattan.
Cocoa is the backbone of Ghana's economy, along with gold and oil. Ghana has more than 1 million cocoa farmers who rely on the crop, and the lower production this season also hurts government revenue at a time when the country is following an International Monetary Fund loan package aimed at restoring fiscal stability.
In terms of real GDP, for example, in 2015, we noticed that because of the harsh weather condition, the cocoa subsector declined by 1.4%, and that led to a slowdown in the growth of the agricultural sector from 4.6% to 2.4%. So this is what impact a declining cocoa sector can have on the agricultural sector and the GDP of a country like Ghana.
Local buyers and traders said the overall crop still looked set to end with outputs below the long-term average. Experts say the harmattan will also affect mid-crop output in neighboring Ivory Coast, the world's top cocoa grower.
Now let's discuss the development in the commodities markets further as they affect Nigeria and other countries. Taking a cue from the reports from Ghana on cocoa production, Bismarck Rwani is the chief executive at the Financial Derivatives Company Limited, and it joins me to discuss these issues and more. Thank you very much, Mr. Rwani, for your time.
Thank you, Balaji.
Now, cocoa is a very important commodity to Ghana and some West African countries like Nigeria. Now, farmers are concerned that output may drop as a result of dry winds. What's your take on this?
Yeah, it has a very profound impact on the macroeconomic stability in Ghana and Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast is number one producer in the world with about 1.6 million tons, and Ghana follows with about 950,000 tons. The light crop is the major crop that comes before the main crop at the end of the year. Because of the winds, we are having the worst situation like this in the last 10 years. This is a decade-old problem, and it will affect the Ghanaian income. But the beautiful thing is that this is happening at a time when 100%, there's been a 100% increase in the price of oil from February at $27 to about $50 a barrel today. So what Ghana would lose in cocoa income, they will make up to a limited extent with oil income. However, because cocoa employs a lot of people in terms of output, in terms of employment, and in terms of aggregate income and disposable income of the people, this will have a negative impact on spending and the multiplier effect on GDP in Ghana. It will also affect Nigeria to some extent, because Nigeria will benefit from the higher prices. The price of cocoa have gone up, much higher than what was anticipated, and so Nigeria will benefit. But Nigeria's crop as a whole is about 200 to 220,000 tons a year.
Okay, the National Bureau of Statistics have just released the May inflation with headline consumer price index increasing to 15.6%. The increase is owing to overall rise in general price levels, according to the Statistics Office. Now, this is unlike other inflation reports, which attributes increase to rise in food commodities. Why is the May report different?
The May report was a victim of a shock. The shock was the announcement effect of an increase in the nominal price of petrol from 85 naira to 145 naira a liter. So that had a knock-on effect on so many other things. But if you look at it generally, the effective price of petrol in the month of May actually came down from 165 to 150 across the country. But over and above that, there was the price of diesel, which is the 100-pound gorilla in the room. The price of diesel went from 130 to 185, and it was not even available. Diesel is responsible for power. Diesel is responsible for logistics. Diesel is responsible for distribution. So that had a knock-on effect. So you had imported inflation, you had a scarcity of foreign exchange, you had the fear and speculative factor, and you had uncertainty. All of them were working together to give you a perfect storm. Okay. Is this going to stop in June? No. In June, we have, most likely, we'll have the flexible exchange rate policy, which will have also another announcement effect. But we are beginning to see prices begin to decline. Beans is down from 27,000 to 16,000 naira a ton, a bag. Tomatoes is down from 45,000 to about 30,000 right now. And we are beginning to see price resistance from consumers and some increase in supply because of the higher prices. So we are beginning to see quantity supplied increase. I also begin to see a gradual shift in the aggregate supply curve.
Okay. A lot has been going on in relation to ensuring peace in the Niger Delta region, which of course produces Nigeria's highest revenue earner and export commodity, the oil. Now, there are reports that you are one of those that intend to negotiate with the federal government on behalf of the Niger Delta Avengers. What is your position on this issue?
I can never be representative of militants. I think there's constitutional authority. There are state governments there. There are local governments. There's the NDDC. There are people who are mandated to work on behalf of the Niger Delta people. So, first of all, I'm an economist. I'm not a politician. And I do not see myself engaging on behalf of militants for any reason.
Now, the country's oil output has been declining owing to activities of pipeline vandalism in the Niger Delta region. What do you expect the government to do going forward to ensure that vandalism is stopped in the area?
Well, I think constructive engagement, that is discussion with wherever these people are, if they can be identified. At the same time, using the military infrastructure to protect and clamp down on those who are carrying out criminal activity. I think it's a combination of both. But in the end, I think what is going to happen, there's going to be peace and stability, and production will come back in the long run so that people can get back to the business of producing what will help Nigeria ensure a recovery from the current economic doldrums.
Bismarck Rouani, CEO, Financial Derivatives Company Limited, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.